The 2019 offseason for the New England Patriots has been a reunion of sorts. Bill Belichick has first brought back Benjamin Watson, and now he's brought back our old friend Jamie Collins, former Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots, was traded 3 seasons ago to the Cleveland Browns, played a few seasons with Cleveland, and now he's back in New England, back home, back where he was drafted, just like Ben Watson. So Jamie Collins, a lot of people are saying this is not a great move. You know, they really question Collins in terms of a personality within the locker room. That's why they moved on from him in the first place. He wasn't really a fit there. He was kind of going against the orders of the coaches. Whatever the rumors were at that time, obviously Bill Belichick and Jamie Collins feel like they're past that. They feel like Jamie Collins can help this team right now, at least in a depth role, if not in a bigger role this season in 2019. And I'm all for it. I think this is an excellent signing. I think Jamie Collins being back here, it's not like he's been injured a lot. He hasn't really been banged up. He's not really an older player. He hasn't even hit 30 years old yet. He's still 29 years old. And this is just what Bill Belichick does so expertly. He takes a player that has some value, moves on from him to get a draft pick, and then a couple of years later, when the player isn't properly utilized within the Cleveland Browns scheme and isn't really shown the proper potential, then he gets him back. He brings him right back to New England, and then he has a nice career in New England. It's the same thing that happened with Patrick Chung in 2014. They moved on from Patrick Chung in the 2011 or 2012 season. He played 1 year or 2 seasons, I can't remember, in Philadelphia. He comes back to New England in 2014. He wins a Super Bowl his first year, and then he becomes a Patriot legend and a staple of this defense. And for Jamie Collins, it's almost different than that. I mean, this guy's won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots. He basically has, well, technically he's won 1.5 because he was there for half a season in 2016, but you get my point. He was really good with the Patriots for 2013, 2014, 2015 especially, and even at the beginning of the year in 2016, he was still very good. This is a talented player. This is a unique linebacker in the league. He's 6'3", 250, but remember, he is fast, he is quick. For 250, he can still run. Maybe he's not the same player he was in 2015 or 2014. Possibly he is, possibly he isn't. He hasn't played that way in Cleveland, so I'm not going to assume he's going to play that way for New England in 2019. But if you can take those raw physical attributes that we saw with him in 2013, 2014, 2015, he molded into a very talented player, greatly utilized within the Patriots blitz packages where he can just steamroll centers, running backs in certain blitz schemes that they love to run, and that was where he was super effective. Him and Hightower as the smash bros inside for the Patriots defense. That 2015 season, they were an excellent defense that year. They still had Chandler Jones. Side point. But Jamie Collins was unreal those 2 years, 2014, 2015. He was one of the best linebackers in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. He was a top 10 linebacker in the NFL. Everyone saw him as the future of the Patriots defense. And it's tough to really remember it because we only remember all the bad things that were said about him after he got traded or even a little bit before he was traded to the Cleveland Browns. And now everybody has in their mind all these bad stories about how he was a bad personality within the locker room, wasn't taking to coaching and was not really putting full 100% effort into playing for the Patriots. But you have to remember the good things and how he was properly utilized. He was properly utilized as a blitzer. He was properly utilized as a sideline-to-sideline linebacker. He was properly utilized downhill as a big body who could run and could move. And he was also extremely good in coverage in his time in New England. I know everyone brings up the 2015 Owen Daniels AFC Championship game. That was one game. Okay, he had a couple of seasons where he was really good, including the Super Bowl and Super Bowl 49, where he was a huge part in that game. He was a huge part in the 2015 season, getting them to that AFC Championship game. He was amazing. Remember that Houston Texans game on Thursday night in 2016 with Jacoby Brissett? He led the defense that game, and he was really a game changer. And in his prime with the Patriots, he was a game changer at the linebacker position, an inside linebacker position that is not easy in the modern NFL to be a game changer. There's really only like 5 or 6 in the NFL that are game changers, that can tackle really well, cover really well, lead, can put the defense in the right position, can blitz very well. And Jamie Collins, in his time in New England before he was traded, could do those things and was a game-changing type of linebacker who was asked to play on all 3 downs, who was asked to rush, who was asked to blitz, who was asked to cover, and who was asked to be an athletic force for this defense. And in my opinion, their best defense they've had was with Jamie Collins over the past, 10 years or so. It was in 2014. It was in 2015. Those 2 defenses to me were really, really good. 2016 was good as well. And then this past season was okay. But I really feel like the Patriots, just adding Jamie Collins to this mix, I really don't see an issue. It's a 1-year contract. It's a prove-it deal. It's a see if he can do it again sort of thing and see if he can help you again. And really, before last year, I was concerned about the future of the Patriots linebacker position. I was concerned about how Dante Hightower would look after numerous injuries. I was concerned that they only really had Kyle Van Noy, and Kyle Van Noy has even become better since even last year. So they have Kyle Van Noy. They have Dante Hightower. Those are going to be your 2 guys that you go to and you rely on. They also have Jawan Bentley, who looked great in preseason play, was lining up to be a starter in the year, even started a couple of games and looked really good doing it. And I think they expect big things from him as a 3rd-round pick a year ago and coming off an injury. So he's there and possibly being their middle linebacker. They have Jamie Collins now. They still have Landon Roberts, who is a solid role player, great against the run, not necessarily good against the pass, but has improved in some areas. And even last year, I thought was his best year of his career. And then they have numerous other guys that potentially could make the roster, from undrafted guys to Christian Sam to a couple of other guys that they've brought onto this team. But when you're really looking at that core, when you're talking about 5 linebackers deep, that's impressive in today's NFL when you only really play 2 linebackers. Just look at the Jaguars now. They're losing Telvin Smith, and they're really in a bind for finding guys that can play in their scheme and can start. I think there's concern there for filling in for Telvin Smith, obviously. But if Jamie Collins can play his role, be a good blitzer, possibly cover a little bit on 3rd down, you can play him at outside linebacker. You can play him at inside linebacker. And that's the fascinating thing about adding another linebacker to this mix, is you have Dante Hightower and Kyle Van Noy, who have played edge positions in the past. You lost Trey Flowers. You draft Chase Winovich. You take in Michael Bennett. Now you can potentially, with Jamie Collins on the field, move Dante Hightower to a little bit more of an edge position. Let him rush the quarterback. Move Kyle Van Noy to an edge position. Let him rush the quarterback. Maybe Jamie Collins rushes the quarterback occasionally. So you have all these different pieces that you can use with all these different linebackers and different type of linebackers with different skill sets. And that's the fascinating thing that I'm really excited for with this Patriots defense. I'm expecting him to make the team. I'm expecting him to play a role this season, and hopefully all things go well. I think the football aspect of it will be there. It's just a matter of if he can buy back into the Patriot way. That is the thing, because that's where he lost his way, and that's where he wasn't really as successful in Cleveland. But just going back to his Cleveland days before I wrap up this video, I really feel like he did have some good moments in Cleveland. Like last year, he had 4 sacks, 104 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 7 quarterback hits. Those are good numbers. Like, I know that sometimes it doesn't really show up in the PFF grading and things like that, but the Cleveland defense in general wasn't very good. So who's to say that it was Jamie Collins or somebody else? And to me, those are good numbers just to take from a raw aspect and then potentially bring him back to a team where he's not even going to be expected to be a starting linebacker. He's going to be a role player most likely, unless he really really shows that he has that 2015, 2016 form once again. So you have him back in the fold, and I'm really excited because Jamie Collins was one of my favorite players back in 2015, 2014, and now he's back in the fold. I hope he can contribute to this team, and I believe he will contribute to this team. Gronk spiked the like button. Let me know what you guys think of this move. Jamie Collins is back in New England, and he is going to be a force, I believe, once again, to help this defense, I think, be even better than they were last year. Again, Gronk spike the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's Mitch of TheBottomLineView. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the Jamie Collins signing. Peace.